Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves the letters N-O and maybe R. We'll find out today, and maybe P as well, because I like to go in alphabetical order. It's Frank. How are you today?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm very good.
You're not.
Yeah, very good. I'm good today.
Yeah.
Are you drinking the same thing?
We have matching beers, my friend.
We have matching beers.
Yeah.
We're not in the same room, but it doesn't matter. We have matching beers.
Doesn't matter. Exactly. I feel like I'm there. Hey, cheers.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, no, you inspired me. I had didn't realize it was Porch Rocker season already, but that was already hitting the shelves, and I know it's a limited edition, so I made sure to go out and get some while I can. So yeah, it's the Sam Adams Porch Rocker Lemon Radler. And I picked it up specifically because Tim drank it last episode, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get some.
Is it the best Sam Adams?
That's hard to say. Wow, this is a really nice.
It's a really good one, right?
It's really good this year, yeah.
Yeah, the lemon is really zingy.
It's like lemonade.
Yep, it's a really good one.
It's a good year. Yeah, because they
always good, but there's some years the lemon production is just better than others.
Yeah, and they say that Sam Adams has said that that it does change a little bit every year because the lemon crop will be different. I mean, it is very much like this year of grapes were really of wine were really good because of the rainfall on the grapes and whatever. It's a similar thing where it's like this year the lemon production was crop what it was, and it makes for seemingly a very sweet but a little bit zingy lemon radler, which is great. Love it. I've also been loving the all this tier list business that we've been up to, and I'd love to get back into it with you.
Absolutely, a lot of positive feedback on the tier list, which is actually quite surprising because it's just us talking about a bunch of random people, but hey, what are we not doing every week if not talking about a bunch of random people?
Exactly right.
We left off with the M's.
Yeah, the beginning of the letter N.
Mm-hmm. So we're starting off with Nathaniel Adam, a.k.a. Captain Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I like Captain Adam quite a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think he is an underutilized character. Truthfully, he was just in a mini, which was now I can't remember, the Adam Project.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ray Palmer and Ryan Troy, and they were doing a thing with the Adam's powers. Like he was able to dish out superpowers, part of the new status quo after the Amanda Waller incident.
Sure.
And it was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, I always feel like they just don't know. They never know what to do with him. Like
it does seem that way.
Yeah, but me personally, as liking him versus like his actual, on the tier list, I say he's a C character.
That's what I was thinking anyway. I think he's a C character. But I
think he's a strong C. Like,
yeah.
I'm really comfortable with the B. He's had his own series after a while. Dr. Manhattan is based off of him. So there's some good stuff in there. I just don't think that he has I feel like not in power set, but he and Adam Strange are like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
I agree. Very much agree. Yeah. Put the atoms together.
Mm-hmm.
Nereus.
Mira's, however you want to say it, is her father.
Mm-hmm.
He's a D character.
He's an IDK for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't think I am familiar with him, but I'll go with D on your recognizance.
Yeah. He exists because he needs to. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's
at particular times. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And I don't know Niles Calder either.
Niles Calder is the founder of the Doom Patrol. He's the Professor X before Professor X.
Got it. That would I've never really gotten into Doom Patrol.
Me either, and I'm gonna safely put him in IDK because of that, not because I'm not comfortable making the call on him anyway. I'm more familiar with other members of the Doom Patrol, but him, I will. Apart from him founding it, and maybe there's some suspicious behavior going on. I don't really know anything about the Doom Patrol, so I'm gonna say IDK.
Yeah, that seems fair. That seems like the fair thing to do, since neither of us really are familiar.
Nuidus Volko. Who trained Aquaman. I'm also gonna put him at a D.
Yeah, it's a very flat, a character that exists because it needs to exist.
If this was an Aquaman tier list, these characters would be higher. But if you're looking at the grand scheme of the DC universe, not very high. Nobody calls Volko when the Anti-Monitor is shown.
No.
It's just like, this is not what happened.
Honestly, the only reason he's even on this list is because they wanted to get to 252. I'm convinced. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these people are there just to pad it out a little bit.
Yep.
Oliver Queen, on the other hand.
I think Oliver Queen's an S tier character.
Oh, okay. Okay.
S tier character.
Can you state your case?
Yes, I can. Oliver Queen is an S tier character because he is an adaptable, moldable character who has lasted 4 decades in different iterations by different authors, different mediums, whether comics, TV, almost movie, at different points, whatever. And because he's so multiple and adaptable, but still recognizably himself as a character, I do think that he is. I do think he has worked his way up to an S tier member of the DC universe. I don't think that there really is a DC without Oliver Queen. I think even when you see like post-apocalyptic stories now with and everything, like Oliver Queen is there. He's always there. He's the voice of reason a lot of times, or the voice of sarcasm. I don't know. I really think that he's nudged his way up to. I think he's nudged his way up to the top.
Wow. Okay. What do you say to the critique that he's a recycled Batman?
I think all comic book characters are recycled Superman and Batman characters.
Sure, but this one's pretty.
On those two archetypes. Next question.
But like this one is pretty direct.
Like, billionaire vigilante.
Right.
That's what I think that but I think his personality and his MO are just really different. Like, just because there's a like Blue Beetle is also a rich guy who does super heroics, but he doesn't get the same he's just Batman but a beetle.
Sure.
Like Captain Atom has a lot of superpowers and flies around and is super strong, but we're not like, well, he's just Superman. Like, I think Oliver has proven himself over the years to be different enough, or much like Batman, when you need a Batman stand-in.
Yeah.
The CW.
Right. All right. I lean more towards putting him at an A, and I was not expecting you to argue for S tier. So this is I'm a little caught off balance by this. I'm like, whoa, now I got to reconsider, because I was really thinking he's an A. I feel like to be S tier is really like if Barry Allen isn't S tier, then I feel like,
which truthfully I'm feeling guilty about.
yeah.
I'm feeling that we did Barry a disservice by making him an A tier.
Well, and I'm willing to reopen that conversation as well. I'm just looking to see, we have Wally here, and yeah,
Wally is definitely an S tier character. Like I could skip all of these.
Sure, yeah.
And I think we can both comfortably say that he's an S.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Oliver has. I don't think Oliver always was an S tier character. Where
definitely not.
You would say that some of the people on this list always have been.
Oh, sure.
I don't think I think Oliver in the last 20 years
Mm-hmm.
has really, maybe since the 70s, he's worked his way up that way. But I really only think in the last 20 years, even less than that, maybe the last 10 or 15, has he really like earned his keep as a top contender in the DC universe.
Was his time on Smallville, do you think that had something to do with that? Like, I think from that is how we got Arrow the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you think is that more a coincidence of timing, that's around the time frame you're talking about 20 years ago? Or
I wasn't thinking about Smallville at all. I jumped into Kevin Smith's run on.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. I love that.
And I think since then he's kind of been more at a he's been running at a sprint more than playing the long game. Right. Yes, you have yours
Quiver
right there.
Yeah. Fantastic. Great. Kevin Smith. Yeah. One of my favorite Green Arrow stories ever. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Now, to be said, I would be comfortable putting him at an A because I also understand, like, if you're looking at this list, you're looking at Superman, you're looking at Batman, you're looking at Lois, Lex Luthor, you're right, he's not Superman. Like, he's just not. But if that's the criteria, then
I just think S tier is like that, like the Untouchables, like, he is too. I don't know. He just doesn't like John Jones is another one. Like, if these guys are A's, Kara, like
no, okay, mm-hmm.
Dinah, Barbara Gordon, for God's sake, like if they're A's, and I do feel like those are good A's. I feel like he fits in there, but I would put him at the top of the A's for sure. But I don't know that I can go to S.
All right, I will concede with A because of the criteria that we have met for other characters. I will give you that.
That seems yeah, that feels more right to me.
Okay. All right, fair.
You made a good case. You made a very, very strong case.
I'm all right with it. I'm okay. Let's move on to
Orm
Marius, the Ocean Master.
Mm-hmm.
Ocean Master is a C character. I could make a case for a B.
Yeah. C feels like I
feels wrong.
C feels wrong.
Or does it feel correct?
No, C kind of feels correct to me.
All right, then let's just throw him in there.
Yeah,
because that was my first instinct.
Yeah,
I think
mine too.
Has moments of being a B character,
but
yeah, I don't know. There's something about, like, I don't know, when the Legion of Doom come a calling, straight among them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what? Say something when Scarecrow gets bigger billing.
Yes, true.
Ocean Master.
Exactly. How about the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot?
I want to say he's an A character. Part of me says the Penguin's actually a B.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's part of the deception of the Penguin, in that, like, you constantly under you undervalue him.
Yeah.
Or you underestimate him, but he's actually an A character.
I think he's an A. I think he's a pretty strong A.
All right, now let's throw him in the
Yeah.
A character. There's another character who's very adaptable. We've
True.
seen a lot of different penguins over the years, and he just keeps coming back. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a character that has a lot of different, very flexible, very adaptable, like you said. Yeah, so many different takes on the character, I guess is what I'm thinking of. And so many of them work. You know, there's a lot of these characters where like, yeah, we've seen them done a few different ways, but like this is the one. You know, this writer's run on it is the definitive one or whatever. You know, but it seems like Penguin has evolved over time and has taken on different qualities and really has had like that staying power that few characters really do. Yeah.
Speaking of staying power, Bruce Flanagan, aka the Rat Catcher. Rat Catcher's a D.
Don't ask me why I always want to call this character the Rat King.
Rat King, because Rat King is a Ninja Turtles villain.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you were a Ninja Turtles character. You're not a Ninja Turtles guy, but I also want to call him the Rat King, and I know that's Rat Catcher. This is a weird story of Rat Catcher, but the first time I ever heard of Rat Catcher ever was in the Batman Dark Tomorrow video game.
Oh,
which was based on a disused comic storyline, and he's in it for approximately 5 minutes.
Wow.
But that was the first I ever heard of him, and that was probably the last he'll ever be in a Batman video game.
Yeah, wow. By the way, great. Disused is a fantastic vocab word.
Thank you. Thank you. Someone who probably doesn't know the word disused, Owen Mercer, a.k.a. Captain Boomerang 2, the second claim to fame, killed Tim Drake's dad.
Yeah.
He's a D character.
Yeah.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah, he exists for that one purpose, right?
Yep.
That's a pretty good criterion for what makes a D character. Is like it's not the only criterion, but one of them. One of the tells is like, do they exist just to do one thing?
They existed to do that thing, and I've seen him show up in other stuff, like in other comics and whatever. And every time, I'm like, yeah, you're just the guy that killed Jack.
It's like, okay, Joe Chill, like,
yeah,
you know,
kind of like Joe Chill, but also with a supervillain moniker,
right?
Whatever. Paco Ramon. Do you know who this is?
I don't.
I have no idea who this is.
Okay.
Should we use one of our lookups?
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's do it. I'll happily use mine.
Okay.
Paco.
Because the name's familiar, but I can't place it.
Oh, you know what?
So.
I actually can't right now because I'm doing the screen share here.
Oh, I will do it. I will do the lookup for you, and I will
take it from my account.
His vibe. Right.
Okay.
You know what? They right. Vibe.
Right,
you know why? Because he has a different name on Flash.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
That's what, because they call him Cisco on.
Oh, right.
On Flash, that's what threw me off. He's Vibe. Vibe's a D character.
Yeah.
Sorry. The
Cisco.
Flash aside.
I didn't realize his name is Paco in the comics. Paco is another nickname for Frank, and Cisco is short for Francisco. But I never realized that's what he's called. Interesting. Did you say you think he's a C?
I think he's a D.
I think he's a D. Yeah, I think that.
His name is Vibe.
I mean, yeah.
D.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like the character overall. I think that the Cisco Ramon, the TV version, I would put higher, like a B. But
me too. But
yeah,
but if I'm not granting Ocean Master,
right, exactly,
his his due because of the Aquaman movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. How about Pandora?
I remember her one story. It didn't leave a very lasting impact on me. I'm going to also say a D.
D, yeah.
A lot of D's in the P's.
There are a lot of D's in the P's, aren't there? That's...
Next up on our list, though, Pamela Isley, a.k.a. Poison.
Poison Ivy.
Can you make a strong case for... I mean, she's an A.
She's an A, yeah.
Probably make a case for an S at this point in her comic career. She's had her own series for a couple of years now, still going. Appears in a lot of different things. She is her own character, but she's still not... She's not Lois, so...
Right. Yeah, that's yeah. It is a high bar, at least for me. Like the bar for
I think you really have to earn your way in.
I think so, and I think you need to be. I think at minimum you have to be like a household name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, people know who Lex Luthor is. They know Superman, Batman. Yeah, you could make a strong argument that people don't necessarily know Alfred, or they might not know Alfred or Dick Grayson or Commissioner Gordon, but more people know them than not.
Yeah, I mean the movies have put those names in the public consciousness. Commissioner Gordon, Alfred,
and they have been that way since they were, since the 60s with Batman and then so other shows, so on and so on. So,
that's right. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Okay. Perry White.
Perry White.
So, I love Perry White. You love Perry White.
I do.
He's a B.
He's a B.
Character?
He's a strong B. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. In my heart, he's he could, if we're ranking just Superman characters, he could be an S. But just by virtue of being such a big part of the Superman, pantheon of Daily Planet staff and all that. But no, in the grand scheme of the DC universe, he's as high as he is, even just because he's been around such a long time and has played a big role in the story of Superman at times. But he doesn't go higher than a B.
No. All right. Very good. Glad we agreed on that.
Were you worried about that one?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. The Phantom Stranger is a C. Yeah. Important when he shows up.
Yes.
Doesn't show up often.
Right.
But that's okay. It would actually lessen his importance, but nothing against the Phantom Stranger. He does what he's supposed to do at the time he's supposed to do it. That's a C character.
Yeah. Kind of a Kilowog.
Yeah. Hey, we made it through, and we went it through Nop. Frank.
Nop.
Congratulations.
Woo.
We did it. Do you want to? Let's blow through these R's in our remaining minutes.
Sounds good. Let's do it. We can do it.
Up next, first R, Rachel Roth, which is Raven. Raven's a B.
B. Yeah,
character,
I think so. I think it's a B. I don't have much to say about Raven.
Nope, me either. But that's good. She's a B.
Ralph Dibny,
Elongated Man.
Is
a C.
Is a C. Yeah.
He's had his time, but
yeah, he's got a place in my heart because of Identity Crisis. But really, he's a C, and that might even be a little bit generous.
For sure. Raquel Irvin. I have no idea who that is.
Okay. IDK.
Just flat out looking at the picture. Don't know you.
Not familiar.
IDK.
Raish.
I think Raish is an S tier character.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. I think Raish is a strong enough character to exist on his own in a lot of different forms. He shows up. He's been showing up in different mediums since the 90s. And in some ways, weirdly a household name now.
I think
the Dark Knight trilogy. So
yeah, I think even if the average person doesn't know his name, you could be like the Liam Neeson character, and they'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Oh, you mean Roz?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah, okay. Great. S tier character. Ray Palmer?
We were talking about him earlier.
I think Ray's a B character.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bigger than a B, though. Hilarious because his name is the Atom. Yeah. But he's a strong B.
Strong B.
Mm-hmm.
Strong B, yeah. He's one of those characters that when he is around is very compelling.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So is Renee Montoya.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of characters who are compelling when they're around, Renee Montoya, a.k.a. now the question, has been for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Renee is also a B character.
Yes. I think Renee, there was a time where Renee was really verging on being an A character.
Yes.
But I see it's it seems like her time sort of waxed and waned. And she didn't end up being as big a player in the DC universe overall as she was at a certain time.
Yep. I agree. Rex Mason, Metamorpho. Metamorpho's done nothing for me, like, ever, really.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's a D character, though, because I actually really don't think that. I think he's a C character, but my own personal preference is whatever.
Same.
I'm like excited to see him on the big screen because was recording this, we'll not have seen Superman yet.
Yeah.
But like, I'm excited to see lots of characters on the big screen.
Right. Yeah.
It's the big screen.
It's the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Troop, let's do it. Big screen Ron Troop.
Big screen Ron Troop. Let's go.
Yeah. So,
why is he not on this list?
There's a lot of people not on this list. Detective Chimp is not on this list.
I know, but Steve Trevor's on this list.
Yeah, Steve's been around a long time, though. Like, Steve's arguably more important than Ron Troop.
You're absolutely right, because I was thinking of Steve Lombard for a moment there.
Oh.
Yep. Never mind. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right.
That's why I was comparing them. I was like, come on, do different. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Good now. All right.
We're good. Richard Hertz.
Don't know who that is.
No idea. And the fact that they had to use a picture seemingly from the 50s. Makes me think.
It's gonna.
Yeah.
That one away.
IDK.
Look it up.
Now, Rick Flag. This is a significant character.
A significant character. Been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. B?
Yeah, I think my heart says B. Yeah, I think we could make a case for C.
Same.
I almost feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Also, if Kilowog is a C,
yeah,
Rick Flag can also be a C.
You know what? That you just convinced me. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, you know what? And the same for Rip Hunter too. If Kilowog can be a C,
Rip Hunter's a C. Yeah, I think that's absolutely accurate.
Mm-hmm. Rita Farr, again, Doom Patrol. I want to say IDK.
Same.
Judge. Yeah, no judgment here.
Can't be a fair judge.
Nope.
Robert Dubois.
Bloodsport. Biggest claim to fame, shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
That's right.
/ being in the Suicide Squad. I'm going to say D character.
Yeah. Again, it's a little bit of a tough call, but yeah, ultimately D.
Yeah. Most known for being in a movie, not enough for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Roger Hayden, the Psycho Pirate.
Yeah, Psycho Pirate. Haven't thought about him in a long time.
The Psycho Pirate's very dangerous when Psycho Pirate shows up.
Yeah.
Like he's used so sparingly, it actually feels important when he arrives.
Yes.
I want to say C, though.
I think it's like Lila, where like when she shows up, it's important.
Yep. Or even Captain Atom.
Or Captain Atom, for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, the C characters, I like a lot of these characters.
Uh-huh.
I like Adam Strange. I like Deadman. I like Etrigan, but they're just not as important to the overall DC universe.
Yeah. It is what it is, It's just a fact of the universe. Speaking of ones that are not so, I don't know this one.
Roman Sionis.
Sionis.
Black Mask.
Oh, I guess I do know Black Mask. Okay.
Yeah, Batman villain. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Was quite the player in comics in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd probably put Roman at a C, though. Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, C. I'm comfortable with C.
C is for psychopath. No, that's not.
Close. C is for Sionis.
Mm.
It's not. Everybody's favorite Firestorm, Ronnie Raymond.
Ronnie.
Again, just don't care.
I just don't care. And I found his portrayal on Arrow actively unlikable.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, Robbie Amell.
Sorry, Robbie Amell.
Not your fault. Who is actively likable. Yeah, I'm gonna put him at a D.
Yeah.
Not an F. So close, but not quite there.
Yeah. The TV version is an F for me.
I just like Firestorm more than Booster Gold, and that's saying something.
Wow, yeah.
Rory Reagan, Ragman, is also a D character.
Real rags to Regan story. Am I right?
No rags to Regans. No rags to riches here, my friend.
Rose Wilson.
Rose Wilson, Deathstroke's daughter. I like Rose a lot. I like when she shows up. I think she's a C character, though.
Yeah.
I think you make a case for B, but I'll be fine with C.
I'm gonna agree with your first call and go with C.
Okay, very good then.
I think that feels right. We're at the end of the R's. We've done it.
No, we didn't. No, we have one more.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, here we are. We've made it to the end.
Oh.
Roy Harper.
Roy Harper is a B character.
He's a B character.
Yeah. Very strong B character.
Strong B. He's a strong B. Yeah, totally. He's
yes.
I think very much on the same, like, John Henry Irons feels like a good comparison in terms of his significance to the character that he supports.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. All right, that brings us to the end of the R's. So I think next time we can finish this up.
Oh, we could definitely finish this up.
Yeah.
We could roll right through these.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are very easy.
Yes.
There won't be much wayward talking.
Right. Yeah. Well, I look forward to talking through that with you at some point in the future, my friend. But for right now, folks can find us at beerwithgeeks.com. You can rate and review us and leave a rating or a review in wherever you get your podcasts, including on YouTube. You can leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of our rankings of these characters. And you can support us at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio and help us keep making the show.
Frank, always a pleasure to talk to you. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.